If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
How's it going, everybody? It's C-RadTV back here in our video. So, of course, it's time to continue on to What If NASCAR Had the F1 Points Format series. So, the last time in the series, we took a look at the NASCAR Euro series in the 2010s as far back as we could. And we warned that a couple of things would have changed under the F1 Points format. And in the last time we took a look at the NASCAR 2020 season, we took a look at Cup, Trucks, and Xfinity with F1 points in 2020, and warned that quite a couple things would have changed under the F1 points format. And in this part, we're going to take a look at the 2020 seasons for the other NASCAR sanctioned series we didn't go over in part 1 for part 2. So yeah, this part, we're going to be taking a look at the ARCA series, the ARCA East series, the ARCA West series, the Pinty series, the Wheel and Modified series, the Mexico series, and the Euro series to see what would have changed the same, would have stayed the same, and what would have changed if they used the F1 points format. And regardless of who won these titles, they will all have massive asterisks on them, and they will all be classified as Mickey Mouse champions, according to a lot of the dumbass fans on Twitter, since the Black Plague Championships don't count in 2020 because of the Black Plague pandemic that plagued the Earth. Honestly, it doesn't matter what the situation is. Everyone's a worthy champion regardless, no matter the format, because everyone plays by the same rules at the end of the day. So yeah, we'll take a look at all those series to see what would have changed and what would have stayed the same if they used the F1 points format in 2020. And of course, before we begin, make sure you check out the official NASCAR at F1 Points Twitter and Instagram pages for exclusive NASCAR at F1 Points content. I always post new content there every day, daily, so if you want to check those out, go for it. But yeah. Anyway, of course, on the screen, of course, is the points format we're going to be using for this part. So it's the current F1 points format. I won't be doing the fastest lap bonus point because a lot of the NASCAR series don't keep track of the fastest lap. And it's a massive pain in the ass to find it, so we're not going to do it here. I might do something similar to this in 2022. But yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, anyway, of course, and before we continue on, let me once again stress out that this is just a hypothetical scenario. I know everyone would have raced differently had they used the F1 points format. This is just for fun. So now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. So starting off with the Euro series. So the Euro series, their schedule normally is around 12 to 13 races. Their schedule was reduced a little bit down to 10 races in 2020. But in those 10 races, we would have a three-man battle for the championship between Alon Day, Lasse Sorensen, and Loris Hezemans, as those three were the class of the field all year in terms of speed and consistency and broke out from the field. In the end, though, Lasse Sorensen and Loris Hezemans would all feel to be consistent in key moments of the year when it mattered the most. Alon Day would take full advantage of it and would pull away late in the season. And Alon Day would lock up the Euro Championship with a race to go in the season. So Alon Day would still win the championship in 2020, and this would be his third Euro Championship under this format. Now on to the Mexico series. So the Mexico series didn't reduce its schedule at all. It still kept its normal length, which was 12 races. So in their season, they had a three-man battle for the championship between Ruben Rovello, Ruben Garcia Jr., and Abraham Calderon. Those three were the class of the field all year in terms of speed and consistency. In the end, though, Ruben Garcia Jr. and Abraham Calderon would all fail to be consistent in key moments of the season when it mattered the most. Ruben Rovello would take full advantage of it with pull away late in the season. And Ruben Rovello would lock up the championship with a race to go in the season. So Ruben Rovello would still win the 2020 Mexico Series Championship under this format, and this would be his second title under this format. Now, Ruben Garcia Jr. would have a solid finale to end the season and gain some points on him, but all that did was just make the championship look a lot closer than it actually was. Now on to the Wheel and Modified series. The series will be reduced to 9 races in 2020, and in those 9 races, we would have a 3-man battle for the championship between Justin Bonsignor, Doug Coby, and Ron Silk, as those 3 were the class of the field all year in terms of speed and consistency. In the end, though, Ron Silk and Doug Coby could not keep up with Justin Bonsignor's consistency and couldn't be consistent, keep moments of the year when it mattered the most. And Bonsignor would pull away late in the season to take full advantage of it. And Justin Bonsignor would lock up the championship with a race to go in the season. So Justin Bonsignor would still be the 2020 Modifieds champion under this format. And under this format, this will be Justin Bonsignor's 4th title under the F1 points format in the Modified Series and his 3rd consecutive. So now on to the Pinty series in Canada. So the Pinty series, they were the one that got the biggest shaft of them all, as their schedule was reduced to only 6 races because the Canadian government is a fucking joke, but we do not talk about politics in this video. That's a topic for another day. So yeah, anyway, in this reduced 6-race season in 2020, they would have a 4-man battle for the championship with 4 drivers separating themselves from the rest of the field, and those 4 being Jason Hathaway, who's coming out of retirement for just a shortened season, Kevin Lacroix, DJ Kennington, and LP Dumoulin. Those 4 were the class of the field all year in terms of speed and consistency and broke out from the rest of the field in the 6-race sprint. In the end, though, DJ Kennington and LP Dumoulin would fail to be consistent when it mattered the most, and they would be eliminated with a race or 2 to go in the season, respectively. So in the end, the championship will go all the way down to the season finale at Usaka Motor Speedway in Hamilton, Ontario, with Jason Hathaway entering with a 21-point lead over Kevin Lacroix. So for Lacroix to win the championship, he would have to win the race and would need Jason Hathaway to finish 9th or worse to have a shot at the title, since Hathaway had the tiebreaker with the most wins. Hathaway just had to finish 8th or better, regardless of where Lacroix finished, or if Lacroix finished 2nd or worse. So in the season finale at Usaka, both drivers ran top 10 for a good chunk of the race, top 5, top 10 up front for a good chunk of the race. In the end, Kevin Lacroix would finish 4th, while Jason Hathaway would go on to finish 3rd in the season finale. And that 3rd place finish would be more than enough for Jason Hathaway to win a 2nd Pinty Series championship by only 18 points over Kevin Lacroix. So Jason Hathaway would still win the 2020 Pinty Series championship under this format, but this would be his 2nd title under this format. So now on to the ARCA East season. So the ARCA East season also got the shaft that their schedule was reduced to only 6 races. But in those 6 races, the season was mainly about all Sam Mayer. Like, Sam Mayer won 5 of 6 races in 2020 on the shortened season. The only race Mayer didn't win was the 2nd race of the year at Toledo, which was won by Ty Gibbs. Damn it, Ty Gibbs had to ruin Sam Mayer's perfect ARCA East season. But Ty Gibbs was able to keep up with him in consistency, but Sam Mayer just kept winning, and Ty just couldn't keep up with that. And Sam Mayer would pull away, and Sam Mayer would cruise to the championship, locking up the ARCA East title with the race to go in the season. So Sam Mayer obviously, since he almost swept the entire season, Sam Mayer would easily still remain the 2020 ARCA East champion under this format, and would go back-to-back in 2020 under this format. So now on to the ARCA West series. So the ARCA West series, its schedule is around normally the normal length it normally is, as they ran 11 races in 2020. In those 11 races, we had 4 drivers break away from the rest of the field, and those 4 being Jesse Love, Blaine Perkins, Gracie Trotter, and Gio Scelzi, as those 4 were the class of the field all year in terms of speed and consistency. In the end, though, late in the season, Gracie Trotter and Gio Scelzi would all fail to be consistent with key moments of the year when it mattered the most, and those 2 would be eliminated with a race or 2 to go in the year, respectively. So in the end, the championship will go all the way down to the season finale at Phoenix, with Jesse Love entering with a 23-point lead over Blaine Perkins. So for Blaine Perkins to win the title, Perkins would need to win the race and would need Jesse Love to finish 10th or worse to have a shot at the title. For Jesse Love, Jesse had to finish 9th or better regardless of where Blaine Perkins finished to win the title. So in the seats, but it wouldn't even matter in the season finale because neither of those two drivers scored points as Perkins had a DNF and Jesse Love just cruised around after that because Jesse Love would end up winning the title by default with neither man scoring a point in the finale. So Jesse Love would still be the 2020 ARCA West Series champion under this format. So for the 2020 ARCA season, the ARCA schedule will not be reduced as they still ran a full 20-race season as expected. So in this 2020 ARCA season, we had a 4-man battle for the championship between Ty Gibbs, Brad Holmes, Michael Self, and Sam Mayers. Those 4 were the class of the field all year in terms of speed and consistency. In the end, though, Michael Self would fail to be consistent in key moments here when it mattered the most, and he would be eliminated with a race to go in the season. So in the end, the championship will go all the way down to the season finale at Kansas, with Ty Gibbs entering with a 12-point lead over Sam Mayer and a 19-point lead over Brett Holmes. So for Sam Mayer didn't even, actually, spoiler alert, Sam Mayer did not even compete in the season finale at Kansas, so he would be eliminated right out of the bat. So it ended up being between Gibbs and Holmes. So for Holmes to win the title, he would need to win the race and would need Gibbs to finish at least 8th or worse to win the title. Ty Gibbs, since he would have the tiebreaker with most wins, Gibbs just needed to finish 7th or better, regardless of where Holmes finished to lock up the title. In the season finale at Kansas, well, Ty Gibbs started on the pole, but he would end up having an issues, and Gibbs would end up finishing in 14th, 40 laps down. So it was set up at the end to where Brett Holmes could win the race. Brett Holmes would win the championship. In the end, Brett Holmes could not get the job done, as Holmes would finish second to race winner Corey Heim. And with that second place finish, it means that Ty Gibbs would hang on and edge out Brett Holmes for the 2020 ARCA Championship by only 1 point. So Ty Gibbs, under the F1 points format, would be your 2020 ARCA Champion. So 2020 would have been Ty Gibbs' first ARCA Championship. But yeah, anyway, that's going to wrap it up here for this part of the What If series. So we're pretty much caught up almost now. So yeah, anyway, quite a few things would have happened in the other NASCAR series under the F1 points format. It would have had some close championship bouts for sure in 2020. Like, in total, including both parts, we had 4 series go down to the season finale for the championship. And those being in the Pinty series, the ARCA West series, then the ARCA series, and the Xfinity series. All 4 of those series had their championship battles go down to the season finale under the F1 points format. And under the F1 points format, we would have, including the first part, we would have 3 title changes total in 2020. Those happening in the ARCA series, the Truck series, and the Cup series. So we had a couple title changes. So quite a few things would have changed for sure in the 2020 season under the F1 points format. A couple things, though, stayed the same for the most part. So yeah, anyway, overall, though, that's going to wrap it up here. I'm actually going to take a break from doing NASCAR at F1 points content. I'm going to continue doing this stuff in 2022. I will be doing one on the 2021 season. That's going to come out sometime in early December after the Mexico series wraps up. Since the Mexico series, their season wraps up in early December. Of course, we know Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, and ARCA West. Their series wraps up at Phoenix in a couple weeks. And Euro Series, their season wraps up next weekend on Halloween. So yeah, the 2021 season's almost done. Other than that, though, the modified season is done this year. ARCA East is done this year. ARCA wrapped up at Kansas this past weekend, and the Pinty series is wrapped up this year. So yeah, racing's almost done for 2021. So yeah, 2021 part coming out sometime in December. So yeah, I'm going to continue doing these part videos. I'm going to start it off in January 2022 after the NFL season ends up. So after the NFL regular season ends, we get into the NFL playoffs. I'm going to start doing these videos again. I'm going to also go through some of the series, some of the seasons I didn't cover in like Xfinity or in like ARCA or ARCA West or the Mexico series or the modifieds, whatnot, and try and look at other NASCAR series I haven't gone through yet. So yeah, see, I got all that to look forward to, you know, because I've been doing these videos since May after the Dover race, so I honestly want a little break for now, because I've been working on these videos for like almost 5-6 months straight. So I want to take a small break from it, you know, and just relax right now and just enjoy it. And just enjoy the off-season for a little bit, when the off-season comes in a couple weeks. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here for this part. I'll have the 2021 part, like I mentioned, all out in December. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. And that part comes out, and all the other parts come out depending on how fast I do my research in 2022. But yeah, anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day, and I'll see you on whatever I make next. Peace.